Hey now, Steve Savers from Bionic Buzz. We're at San Diego Comic-Con 2019 in the press room for Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. It's going to be amazing red carpet. Let's go see who we can talk to. Tell us about this multiverse of Teen Titans all challenging each other.
It's every Titan anyone could ever imagine coming together to fight evil, and it's brilliant and hilarious and high action and fun, and if you're a fan of the original, you won't be disappointed. If you love the new one, you won't be disappointed. It's just a fun time. I love this movie, and Raven's kind of the star, so I love it even more.
Oh, very cool. And where's Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus show up somehow?
Yeah, they show up. They're really important to how the multiverses get revealed, and they're the catalyst for a lot of the action that takes place, so keep an eye on Santa and Mrs. Claus.
So this must have been a lot of work, putting together two iconic franchises together, but a lot of fun, I bet, at the same time.
It was a lot of fun. It's very gratifying to see how well it came out. I hope fans enjoy it, but yes, a lot of work. Anytime you're dealing with two very, very famous and very exciting versions of these characters and wanting to do justice to them both, it was definitely an ambitious thing to take on.
Explain the multiverse and how does Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus have to do
Oh, yeah. Well, Santa Claus kind of holds the key to entering the multiverse in the Go world, and there are keys in other universes. So that's kind of how Santa gets, he sort of holds the keys to that kingdom. The multiverse, I couldn't begin to explain other than just the way I explain to my wife, who's an attorney and doesn't know all this lore, is that there are different infinite versions of Earth, and on one Earth, while you're your type of person, on another Earth you might be a villain, you might be a hero, and so it's really fun to see the Titans sort of collide with and interact with these other versions of themselves. And we do actually... The big thing is the original Teen Titans and the Go Teen Titans, but we do see some other versions of Teen Titans as well.
Oh,
so
very cool.
It's pretty cool.
After seeing the trailer, the thing that really stood out to me was Santa Claus and then Mrs. Claus, which you voice. And apparently they're the key to this multiverse, huh?
Yeah, well, yes, and we're not going to give it to those Teen Titans. They can pry it out of our cold, dead hands.
Yes, we're very evil. We're very evil. We're not your regular Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Well, I think that's what makes it so exciting, though. We usually see them as heroes or loving, giving toy people, but hey, they need stuff for themselves.
They do. I get to do a really good evil cackle. I love to do that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Have you done a lot of villains? I don't know, a lot of heroes.
Well, I played Azula on Avatar The Last Airbender, and that was a really, really mean character. But she was very understated, so she did her evil. She didn't have to try very hard. Yes, and I played Vicky on The Fairly Odd Parents. She's kind of evil. And I play a lot of evil characters.
I think that's be a lot more fun. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's way more fun because I have to try to be nice all day, and it's just exhausting. I only get to be myself.
Well, I'm very excited for this movie. The trailer looks like it's a lot of fun. It must have been cool putting together this whole multiverse together and writing this.
It's cool. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of love and care. Mednikow, I think, is Jeff, the director. I think he is not satisfied until it's perfect, and that's not a bad thing when you want to make something good. So being able to just hopefully help him along with that was kind of the way I brought it.
Also, obviously, figuring out the narrative logistics of a giant multiversal crossover is certainly hard work, but at the end of the day, it's much, much easier to write Titans from all across the universe's battle entertainingly and simultaneously. That's much easier to write on the page. That's one sentence to write. It's much harder to execute. Jeff and his team deserve basically all of the credit.
Totally.
Pretty much our entire job was just to make their job really, really difficult.
Yeah. Good luck, storyboard guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the most thing I'm excited for is seeing Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus is like holding this key to this multiverse.
Talk to that, please.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That's Marley.
So one of the things I knew I wanted to do is I basically, when they approached me to this project, one of the things I did is I made a list of stuff from the original Teen Titans that would be really cool to reference and stuff from Teen Titans Go that would contrast really well. I was trying to find the parts of the two different shows that were as different from each other as possible. It's one of the reasons we went with Trigon as the villain, because the Go Trigon just has such a different personality than the original Trigon that having them together it's not just two of the same character, they're really different guys. And so because of that, one of the things that I thought what is a big part of Teen Titans Go that most could never have been in Teen Titans, and it's that they have a reoccurring rivalry with Santa Claus.
Yes.
So I knew right away that I needed to make the original Teen Titans fight Santa Claus, because that felt like the craziest thing that we could do.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm so excited for that the most. Yeah.
I mean, it's really
Sadly,
good.
Marley will never get a present under the tree
no,
again.
exactly.
But, you know, that's on him.
And also, you know, in this kind of thing, there's 5 Titans, there's 10 Titans, there's the 2 Trigons. There's so many existing characters that you want to get in there. There's almost no room to bring in new characters. And they had referenced Mrs. Claus a lot in the past, but we'd never seen her. And I thought that this movie was an opportunity to finally see her.
It's great. It's great. And to his point, it's like, because there's so many characters, it moves at a clip.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that it's not something you're going to be bored at any minute in, you know, the movie. So
I overheard you talking about the 405. I know all too well about it.
Oh, dude.
Gin Blossoms wrote a song about it.
Did they really?
Called Dead or Alive on the 405.
Oh, that's great. I got to look that up.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. Probably my favorite thing from the trailer is we see the Titans fighting in the arena, and Teen Titans Go is like, Robin's like, this is exactly what we need to fight her. So instead of being like, oh crap. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah. Nothing phases the original Robin.
Yeah.
I think the new Robin is probably a little intimidated by the OG Robin because, you know, he's got normal-sized hands to begin with. So
probably my favorite thing coming up for this is Santa Claus returning, and we get to see Mrs. Claus. You know?
Mrs. Claus, voiced by our lovely friend Greg Griffin, who's amazing, and Santa Claus. I'm just so happy that Santa Claus keeps winding up in so many episodes of our show, and in this, it's pretty great.
It's got a big part of floating in the multiverse.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
I'm very excited for this movie, man. This is cool that you actually get to do both. You know?
I get to do both. We get to do a lot of versions of Cyborg on this one, so it's going to be fun.
I think the most thing I'm excited for is Santa Claus coming back, and we finally get to see Mrs. Claus, and they got the key to this multiverse, apparently.
Dude, the Santa Claus of the Teen Titans Go world is the worst, best Santa Claus in the history of Santa Claus. Yeah. To be in the booth and watch Robert Morris do his thing to play. He's got this great cadence where it starts off kind of slow and then it goes a little bit faster. You know, oh my God, I love him to death. And I'm so glad that Santa Claus is the ultimate villain. He's just amazing. I can't wait for you to see it.
First off, thank you. Last Father's Day, you posted on Instagram about your dog, and you used our interview with you at the Teen Titans Go to the Movies world premiere, and you actually tagged Bionic Buzz, so thank you.
You're welcome, my bro. It's good to be back here with y'all for our new movie, Teen Titans Go vs. Teen Titans. It's going to be fun, and it's rad, and it's all about Wingman G, the real-life Beast Boy. He was there for the recording session.
You take him everywhere.
Everywhere.
Talk about your love and bond between humans.
Everywhere. We're never apart except when I'm surfing. He doesn't want to be in the water, but usually he's got a nice, beautiful super goddess taking care of him on the beach. He doesn't have a hard life.
Yeah.
And nor should he.
Nor should he. All right. My favorite thing about this is Santa Claus is returning, and we get to meet Mrs. Santa Claus.
I love that different kinds of weird, obscure characters show up in our world, like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. And yeah, this movie is weird. It's a very multifaceted, wild ride of different dimensions colliding.
All right, everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button and follow us on social media at Bionic Buzz.